Well, there are more than a few impressive statistics to point to when you're illustrating the greatness of Yogi Berra as a player, but perhaps none drive the point home more than this one. 5 different times in his career, he had more home runs in a season than strikeouts. That's simply remarkable. With more on the life of Yogi Berra, here's our Michelle Yu.
He once said, when you come to a fork in the road, take it. And Lawrence Peter Yogi Berra took it all the way to baseball greatness. He earned his nickname Yogi when a childhood friend likened him to a Hindu movie character growing up in St. Louis, Missouri. Berra, who dropped out of school in the 8th grade, was signed for $500 by the New York Yankees in 1942 at the age of 17. And he joined the big club in 1946 after serving in World War II. Upon his arrival, the Yankees went on to 14 World Series appearances and 10 championships.
He was one of the greatest players in the history of the game. It didn't matter who managed or owned the team when he was a player. He was going to be the best player on the field anyway.
I just love the fact that he used to get so many hits late in the game. And they say, hey, Yogi, how come you don't hit that well early in the game? And he said, what do you want me to get a hit every time up? I'd be tired.
A feared clutch hitter. During Game 3 of the 1947 World Series, Berra hit the first ever pinch hit home run in World Series history. And in 1956, he was behind the plate for the only perfect game ever thrown in the World Series.
Carson looks in. Here comes the pitch. Strike 3. A no-hitter, a perfect game for John Morrison.
Over the course of his playing career, in which all but 4 games were in pinstripes, Berra was a 15-time All-Star and a 3-time league MVP. A wild swinger and a talker behind the plate, Yogi holds many World Series records, including most games played and most hits. In 1964, Yogi became the Yankees manager and led the team to the AL pennant. However, after losing to the Cardinals in the World Series, he was fired.
And familiar number 8, Yogi Berra.
Yogi then signed on as a player-coach for the Mets in 1965 and was named the skipper following Gil Hodges' death during spring training in 1972. The following season, Berra took the last-place Mets into the final month of the season and led them to the NL pennant, while coining his famous phrase, "It ain't over till it's over."
The Mets win the pennant. The Mets have just won the pennant in the Eastern Division.
Berra rejoined the Yankees in 1976 and was named manager before the 1984 season. He maintained the helm for the 1985 season on the promise that George Steinbrenner would not fire him during the year. Instead, just 3 weeks into the season, Yogi was fired, and he then vowed to never enter Yankee Stadium again, as long as the boss was in charge.
I didn't like the way I got fired. Usually the owner calls you up and tells you, we're going to make a change in the team. But he sent the Clyde King to tell me that I was fired. And I didn't like that.
I went into the office and he said, Billy's going to be the manager. He goes, play for him like you did for me. He's like an uncle to you. And same with George, just go out and play hard. He goes, don't worry about me. I'm going to be playing golf tomorrow.
I want to thank baseball. It has given me more than I could ever hope for. And I hope that when I'm through with this game, I will put something back. Thank you very much.
One of only 6 managers to lead both AL and NL teams to the World Series, Yogi was elected into Cooperstown in 1972. Holding true to his vow to never return to the house that Ruth built, Berra put aside his differences with the boss to return for one special day in 1988, when he was enshrined in the Yankees' storied Monument Park. However, it wasn't until Steinbrenner's public apology more than 10 years later that Yogi became a fixture at the stadium. And on July 18, 1999, Yogi Berra Day, battery mates Larson and Yogi took part in the ceremonial first pitch and then watched David Cohn pitch a perfect game. As Yogi would say, it's deja vu all over again.
A Hall of Famer and a guy that unfortunately had the falling out with George for a long time and was missed here. He's beloved. He's a great guy. But I look at him and I said, there's no way this guy could be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, look at him. But he was a hell of a player.
He's just such a wonderful man. And I remember going to his museum, and when my daughter was first born in 1999, making sure that I got a picture of Yogi holding my daughter.
Yogi's one of the best players that ever played in not only in the old stadium, obviously, but Yogi is a Yankee icon, and his spirit will always be here.
And now a legendary Yankee will have his spirit live at Yankee Stadium forever. Lawrence Peter Yogi Berra once said, "You can observe a lot just by watching." And when you watched, it was easy to see how he is considered one of the greatest catchers and one of the greatest players to ever play the game.
Well, of course, they are the Yogiisms, as they came to be known. It's like deja vu all over again, as we heard from Michelle there. You should always go to other people's funerals. Otherwise, they won't come to yours. When you come to a fork in the road, take it. He said that to a graduating class of seniors in college. Baseball is 90% mental, the other half physical, and of course, in 1973, it ain't over till it's over.